Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Netflix and Beverly Hills Cop. I keep wanting to say 90210. That's not it, right?
Yeah,
that's not
Beverly Hills Cop.
It's just Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah. So Netflix is just throwing money. At Eddie Murphy,
as is customary. That's usually what Netflix does. So they have a planned sequel to Beverly Hills Cop, and of course they were the first original three. I think Beverly Hills Hills Cop. Never really watched any of them.
What?
Yeah, I never really cared for Beverly Hills Cop. It just always kind of
you can watch Beverly Hills Cop today and it's good.
Yeah,
it's the first one was great. The second one, it was good. But the first one was good.
Fair enough. So we have Netflix and Paramount has made a one-time license deal with an option for a sequel that will enable Netflix to make the fourth installment of the film with Eddie Murphy and producer Jerry Bruckheimer. And this is coming off the heels of Dolomite Is My Name, which did you end up watching it?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's on my list.
Fantastic fucking movie. I thought it was a great turn for Eddie Murphy. It clearly shows he still got something left in the tank and a lot more left in the tank from the film. Really thoroughly enjoyed it, even though I went into it not really knowing what I would get from it.
Yeah,
it could have been super campy and just kind of stupid, or it could have been great. And I think it was the latter, not the former. But this is the third deal between Paramount and Netflix after the streamer acquired Cloverfield, God Particle, which launched during, everybody watched that debacle of a movie, as well as acquired the offshore rights of the Alex Garland directed Annihilation film with Natalie Portman. So yeah, it's Paramount and Netflix teaming up, and Netflix is basically just trying to find all the friendly faces in the room that it can find. It's like when you go to a party and you look around, like, who do I know?
I know that, brother. I know her. Yeah, let me find my way into this conversation. I don't know these fucking weirdos.
You don't necessarily want to talk to them, but you're kind of like, this is what I got to do for right now.
Hey, what are you up to? Where are you working now?
How are the kids?
Yeah.
You don't really
care. Are you still doing that thing? At that place when you don't really know,
just asking random questions
there at that place.
So Netflix it's trying to do all it can to just bring in the talent. Now, funny man, they pay the people who work for them, and although that was kind of a stupid thing to say, but like what I mean is like if you like, so for instance,
so what they've done, in my opinion, is they've had strategic partnerships, right? They've brought in talent that both, Netflix is making very publicly that, hey, we value you. We're going to pay the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
And we know there's going to be like a return on this investment. You look at the Dave Chappelle stand-up specials, right? Huge return on the investment there. You look at the Bright movie with Will Smith. You look at, they just had the $70 million deal with Eddie Murphy for, what was it? Is it 3 or 4?
I think it's
stand-up specials.
I think it's 3. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, 3 stand-up specials, the Dolomite movie, and now this Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, you know what? I think it was like 3 or 4 movies. I don't know if it was. I know the stand-up specials are a thing, but I don't know if it's 3 or 4. But I don't know.
I thought it was 3 or 4 stand-up specials.
Yeah, you got me. I don't know.
But yeah, so Netflix again, and this is why they have a lane, and no one is really going to step into it and compromise it. There's going to be competition, of course, but Netflix does things very strategically, and everything that I can't think of a bad deal Netflix has done recently.
Well, I think
they've got the whole thing with Monique, and she's suing Netflix now.
Yeah, I think the verdict is still out on how all that stuff is going to turn out for them in terms of all these massive deals, because
they owe a lot of people a lot of money.
Yeah, like they got Shonda Rhimes, and there's a few other people that I remember they signed, to these massive deals in terms of like creators, which is a great thing, but also, that's a lot of money to dole out if you haven't actually, seen any sort of like return on all these things are like years away from like production, right?
Yeah.
Like, so but here's the thing, right? In chess, because I've been super into fucking chess these last few months. And one of the things that is sort of a concept to understand is sometimes you give one of your pawns up or give a piece up, right? But that's to prevent your opponent from making a certain play, right? So they think, oh, we're getting this piece and it's great and whatever, but really you're giving it up because you're trying to position them into like the exact position that you can get them into check or checkmate or whatever the case is. I think what Netflix is doing is something similar where you're taking pieces off the board. So then like, so in chess, like there's this concept where you give up your pawn because you're trying to get them out of the way so you can use your actual main pieces, right? And Netflix is sort of doing a form of that where they're taking these pieces off the board so that they don't go anywhere else, right? So like Shonda Rhimes can't go to fucking Disney Plus and start creating content for them. What's her name? She did When They See Us. Ava DuVernay. She can't go somewhere else because you've already got her. They just signed a deal with the Game of Thrones guys. What are the Benza B&B? Is that
WB?
Whatever. WB Weiss or whatever the fuck his name is. But they just signed a deal with them, like
the Benioff brothers.
Benioff, or I don't know if they're even brothers. I think they're just two dudes.
Do you know their other brothers? The guy who Mark Benioff is like the CEO of Salesforce, like one of the biggest companies in the world.
I mean, they look like they're rich fuckers. So yeah,
fuck that family is rich. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they don't look like they're hurting. But you're taking these pieces off the board not because you believe that they're going to create some content. I mean, of course, you always have that hope that okay, they're going to do something that's going to be amazing. Yeah, these guys create Game of Thrones, and they've got all these things behind them. But you're also like, I just don't want anybody else to have them.
Yeah. So here's the thing with like the comedians, right? Like that they've partnered with or signed recently. You look at like the Dave Chappelle's, the Eddie Murphy's, the Aziz Ansari's, the Ali Wong's, right? If I'm a comedian and I'm going to do an exclusive deal or partnership or whatever with any streaming service, of course it's going to be Netflix. That's where comedy lives right now, right? That's where people go for comedy. So it's one thing where Netflix is, they're giving out a lot of money and they're, you can say they're taking pawns or pieces off the chessboard. But I think these comedians, right, are also at that table willingly. Like it's a mutually beneficial conversation. Like Netflix is like, hey, this is great for us and this is good for you because you're putting your comedy in a place where comedy is welcome and people come here for that comedy. Yeah. So it's strategic and mutually beneficial all the way around. Yeah. Could you imagine if Eddie Murphy did a partnership deal with HBO Go, HBO Now? Well, it's like,
it wouldn't be a bad look,
HBO at a point in time was a place for comedy, right? Like the raunchier stand-up specials, Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy back in the day. But it would be like, would I get HBO and Go or Now to see that? No, I've already got Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would go to wherever the content is, right? So it wouldn't really matter to me if Eddie Murphy was going to HBO or wherever he's going. I'm gonna go watch that shit.
You think so? Would you like if you didn't have?
You're telling me if Eddie Murphy tomorrow came out with a special on HBO, you telling me you wouldn't either subscribe to HBO Now or try to steal somebody else's login shit?
I would only use someone else's login. I wouldn't go get the service, and like that's the thing, right? Yeah. Netflix is like, you have the service. Most people do have Netflix, and then we're going to continue to give you what you came to our service for by bringing you like the stars and the content. Yeah. So again, taking pawns or pieces off of the chessboard.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Great deal.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop. Yo, you got to fucking see that movie, man.
No, I've seen it. I don't care for it.
You don't like SpongeBob. You don't like Scooby Doo. You don't like Beverly Hills Cop.
That's
you
very
don't
true.
like porn
things. I don't like. Well, okay. I mean, let's not go too.
Kind of man, are you
very un-American? Okay. Let's skip forward a little bit.